I scoured the entire internet to find the funniest homebrew to show to you. And by the entire internet, I mean a couple of subreddits and D&D Beyond. And I'm not saying that there's a subclass in here where you derive your power from getting frisky with monsters, but I'm not saying that either. Most of these you should absolutely not put into your games, but what you should put into your game is a friggin' Mad Max / Dune inspired setting from the sponsor of today's video, Homie and the Dude, and their new setting guide, Scorched Basin. Today's the last day to back the Kickstarter, so head to the link down in the description, and I'm excited to tell you more about it later in the video. Welcome to the table. I'm Kelly, and you know what? No table today. Get this out of here. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I love trains.
I like turtles.
And I just wish that there was a spell in D&D that allowed me to express my love of trains. And now there is, thanks to Samuel of the Mills. I love trains, 9th level spell. You utter the sacred words, I like trains. Not I love trains, I like trains. Summoning a train that travels in a straight line 30 feet wide, starting at any point in range. When you cast this spell, you can designate a single creature that the train will follow until it hits the creature. If there's one thing I know about trains, it's they're great at turning and following things. Any creature hit by this train takes 50 d20 bludgeoning damage. No effect can reduce or nullify the damage. Only an ancient red dragon and a Tarrasque can survive that average damage. You thought chronomancy was the most powerful type of magic? Wrong. Train magic. Speaking of Tarrasques, the best way to counter the train spell is with lots of Tarrasques. But what's the best way to get lots of Tarrasques? The deck of many Tarrasques, obviously. When a character draws a card from the deck of many Tarrasques, roll 1d12 and consult the following table for the resulting Tarrasque. On a 1, you get a regular Tarrasque, so you're just completely screwed. You can also get a sleeping Tarrasque, which is okay, a Tarrasque familiar, completely game breaking, and a highly educated pacifist Tarrasque. There's a bunch of other Tarrasques in here, but on a 12, you get a tiny Tarrasque that steals socks. You get a little house hippo.
The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States.
What's the only thing more deadly than 12 Tarrasques? Well, of course, 30 to 50 feral hogs. That's right, a timely reference in 2025, but it was timely when it was made in 2019. 390 hit points, 21 AC, and they're immune to non-assault weapon damage, which makes sense. They have the abyssal language for some reason, and yes, they do double damage to small children. Oh, one sec, I need to get this. Hello? Yeah, no, I'm a serious person. The banana phone. The banana does not spoil, but it may be destroyed as easily as a non-magical banana. It can be used as a spellcasting focus. You can also make a DC 13 charisma check to cast the sending spell as a bonus action. And most importantly, the banana phone can be eaten like a regular banana at any time. But maybe that's a bit silly for your table. Maybe you need something a little bit more serious. Maybe you need the metaphysical dagger. That's right, it's some philosophical bullshit. The metaphysical dagger is the idea of a dagger manifested into physical form. It exists both literally and conceptually in the same space. If every creature on the material plane no longer knows what a dagger is, the metaphysical dagger ceases to exist. Creatures damaged by the item experience the idea of a dagger wound formed into literal damage.
We're not on fire! I knew it, you're lying! I'm burned! There is no fire!
It's almost perfect. The only thing I'd add is that whenever you're holding the dagger, you're compelled to audibly contemplate what it means to exist, and the compulsion gets stronger if no one is listening. First, leggings. While these leggings are equipped, you have disadvantage on all stealth checks due to the clap of your ass cheeks because you're dummy thick. You cannot remove these leggings without the spell Remove Curse. No notes, it's perfect. We don't always get to cast 9th level spells, but when we do, we want them to really count. So consider free soup. You can summon a moderate amount of soup in an empty container within range. When eaten, the soup tastes above average. I mean, what more could you want out of a 9th level spell? You do want more?
No soup for you!
All right. Well, how about power word Dave? You call out to the target referring to them as Dave. If they respond to you, despite probably not being named Dave, you turn that target into some guy named Dave, and they lose all recollection of their former life, family, friends, and home.
Who am I? What am I?
They are Dave now, a normal dude who works a 9 to 5 at a local tavern. Reality itself has bent to make their situation make sense. A wife and kids, parents, and work friends produced by the very cosmos to make their situation completely explainable, ordinary, and unmagical. The minds of anyone who once knew them are stripped of all memory of them. You literally just erase this person from the universe. A target currently experiencing an existential crisis or who has experienced an existential crisis in the last 24 hours does not need to respond for the spell to take effect. If they do not respond, the spell does not fizzle out, and instead, on a random point on this world, a tavern will erect itself from the earth, and along with it, Dave and his family. The adventure hook is just that now every tavern keeper is named Dave because there's some BBEG who's just spamming this spell. While we're doing the power word spells, I might as well show you the most powerful power word of all, which is power word ni. You utter the word ni, and you compel one creature you can see within range to chop down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring, or get a shrubbery, one that looks nice and not too expensive. If the creature you choose has more than 500 hit points, the spell fails. Creatures targeted by the spell are incapable of doing anything but cutting down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring or obtaining a shrubbery. This spell can't be countered, so yeah. Before we get to the fork of bees and the definitely not super horny monster seducing Bard College, I want to tell you about the Dune/Mad Max inspired setting from the sponsor of today's video, Homie and the Dude. Today is the last day to back Scorched Basin, but if your today is not my today when you watch this video and the campaign has ended, you should still check it out because you can probably make a late pledge. Scorched Basin is a system agnostic desert setting with 5 unique factions. It has tons of history and lore, a bunch of different player options tied to each faction, a new alchemy system where you can create cool concoctions, a new magic system tied to the world lore, and a system-agnostic land vehicle combat rule set, which sounds so sick. There's a ton of cool stuff packed into this book, and they have a free preview PDF on the Kickstarter page so you can get a feel for the book. Check out Scorched Basin at the link below. Have you ever thought to yourself, my forks really need more bees? Well, boy, do I have the fork for you. The fork of bees.
No, not the bees! Not the bees!
This gold and black striped fork has 3 charges and it regains 1d4 minus 1 charges at dawn. Don't want it to be too powerful now. As an action, you can yell bees and expand a charge to summon a swarm of bees. My favorite part is that it's just uncommon, meaning that people have heard of a fork that spews bees in this world. D&D definitely needs more bees, so I approve. But you know what else D&D needs more of? Men. Like a real man, 5th level conjuration. You rip your shirt off in a manly fashion. You do 10 man push-ups, then scratch your butt, smell your butt scratching hand, make a funny face, then quickly return your face to a manly face. Then with your smelly hand, whatever you touch turns into a man. That rock, it's a man now. That young girl crying about how you turned her pet rock into a man, she's a man now. That giant dragon who's been kidnapping little girls with pet rocks, it's a man now. Manified targets retain their alignment and personality. For objects or things without alignment or personality, the DM decides what they are now. An important point. An example, that pet rock is now a chaotic evil man because it killed the little girl's parents and tricked the little girl into becoming her pet to help her forget the parents before it turned into a man. Okay. The target assumes a manly average of stats, all 13, the manliest number, apparently. Any gear the target had doesn't manify with the man. If the girl was wearing a dress, the man is still wearing that dress and looking manly in it. Oh yeah. The definition of manliness can be whatever the caster determines, so it could be anything from a scrawny man to a muscled man. Race is not a part of manliness. In fact, not even gender is a part of manliness, so be free with your man creations, young wizards and warlocks. And if you are a woman, remember to check that your target isn't a man because there is no womanify spell, unless. And because I'm diligent in my research, putting in the work for you guys, I checked, and there is in fact a womanify spell. I should have expected that. But you know what no one expects? Pocket sand! No thief worth his leathers is caught without a pocket full of this gritty mixture of finely ground glass and banshee pepper extract. Delivery is simple. When caught in an act of questionable morality, pocket sand is flung into the face of the witness, increasing the thief's odds of a clean exit. Effects: target must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution save or become poisoned for 1 hour. Target is blinded for the duration. But there's no duration listed. It's too OP. If you're tired of giving your players overpowered items, then I've got the perfect thing for you. The +1/2 sword. +1? No. too powerful. This somewhat enchanted sword will occasionally be sort of better in combat. If you make an attack with this sword and then miss, but you would have hit if the total result was 1 higher, roll a d20. If you roll an 11 or higher, you hit. So much complexity to get +1 some of the time. I think if I was given this, I would just throw it away. Do you ever wonder where your missing socks end up? Well, now we know. This cleric is stealing them all. Summon sock, conjuration cantrip. With a series of gestures, you summon 1 sock to your person. I don't know why that cracks me up so much. Just imagining what series of gestures summons a sock. Maybe dirty, maybe clean, never your sock. Somewhere, someone is missing a sock. Duration, until dispelled. So it goes back when you dispel it? Can you imagine just walking around and all of a sudden your sock disappears off your foot and then like 2 hours later it reappears, but it's so gnarly and covered in all kinds of weird stuff? If I was a commoner in this world, this would absolutely be the last straw. Now for a couple of items you could give to your players to troll them. First, the Bagpipes of Stealth, a set of scarlet bagpipes enchanted to make the user invisible. Upon playing the instrument, you instantly vanish from view. However, the invisibility stops when the music stops, so take a deep breath, play strong, and pray your opponents are deaf. This is amazing, and your players would probably use it. Loren actually brought this in as one of her show and tell items on our podcast, We Like D&D. We do a bunch of different segments, including show and tell, character and adventure builds, we play an improv game we made up, and other rotating segments. If you'd like to check it out, it's available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and they're all linked down below. Just a few more before we get to the sexy part of the video. But first, the bag of withholding. This bag looks and functions exactly like a normal bag of holding, with double the interior capacity of up to 1,000 pounds and 128 cubic feet. This capacity comes at a cost though, as a bag of withholding feels unappreciated because players only want to talk to it when they want something. The bag must be reassured of its value and importance in order to open up to release any item contained within. When attempting to retrieve any item in the bag of withholding, the player must succeed on a DC 14 persuasion check, or the bag will shut more tightly. Each failure increases the DC of the next check by 1. Successfully convincing the bag of its importance will allow access for 1 minute, resetting the DC to 14 thereafter. Regardless of the DC at the end of the day, the DC resets to 14 the following dawn, as the bag of withholding has had a chance to reconsider its feelings over the course of the night. Here's a special item you can give to your wizard. And that's not a euphemism. The crossbow of shame. Shame. This light crossbow is permeated with the shame of countless spellcasters who have used it instead of relying on their magic. If you make an attack with the crossbow and you can cast spells, every creature within 30 feet of you knows your location. And I'd also assume they shake their heads and go, "Oh, sweetie." Before we slip into something comfortable, let's bring down the vibe with the OGL. This slip of paper can be given to any friendly creature and they will happily accept it as a gift. Using an action, you can destroy the paper from any distance, causing 25% of the current owner's gold and treasure to be teleported to you.
The money, Skylar. Where is the rest?
This permanently ruins the friendship between you and the owner. Slip into something comfortable, a conjuration cantrip. Briefly surrounded by a spiral of smoke that smells faintly of roses, you teleport to an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you that you can see, leaving anything that you're wearing or carrying behind in a neatly folded pile. If there's a bed within 30 feet within sight, you can choose to appear prone on the bed, holding a rose between your teeth instead. The rose dissipates after 1 minute. Okay, good. I was concerned it was going to be too powerful, but the rose dissipates, so it's okay. I think there should be a component requirement of luscious body hair like Austin Powers, though.
Oh, you are hairy like animal.
And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, you horny toads, the Bard College of Monster. And yes, that is the poster for Shape of Water. I'll let you read through the full thing on your own, but I'll give you a little taste with this 3rd level ability called Joke's on You, I'm into that shit. At 3rd level, you've learned to embrace your obsession of getting railed by unholy abominations, and you can grant your disturbing resilience to your allies. When you or a creature within 60 feet of you takes damage from another creature, you can use your reaction to expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration. Roll a Bardic Inspiration die, the chosen creature creature gains temporary hit points equal to the number rolled plus half the damage received. Aside from the getting railed part, it's actually a pretty sweet ability. Which of these was your favorite? Let me know down below. If you want to watch me take more stuff off the internet and put it in a video, then you should check out this video here to find out which homebrew rules I'm using to make D&D better. I appreciate you.